in today's lesson we're going to look at how we draw the most basic of linear graphs. We're going to look at how we draw horizontal and vertical lines when given the equation of those lines. So in these examples we've been asked to draw the following on this axis, that is our given xy axis, and we have 6 lines that we're going to draw. The first one is the line y equals 2. So all of these are just going to give us either a horizontal or a vertical line. And this is how we dictate whether it's a horizontal or a vertical line. Okay, so y equals 2. What that means is we go to the y-axis. So the y-axis is our vertical axis. We go to where it is number 2 on that axis, and that ends up giving us a horizontal line across the way. Okay, now obviously I would draw this in an actual exam situation using a ruler, but seeing as I'm holding the camera using my left hand, I'm going to draw it freehand on this occasion. So that is the line y equals 2, and you draw it right away across the given axis. Okay, so any of the lines with the equation y equals will be horizontal lines because it cuts the vertical axis. Okay, these lines are therefore perpendicular to that vertical y-axis. Alright. The next line I've been asked to draw is x equals 3. So therefore I'm going to my x-axis, which is our horizontal axis. I'm going towards number 3 on that axis, and I draw a line that is perpendicular to number 3 on the x-axis. And again, drawn freehand, but we'll end up with a vertical line just like this, right down. Okay, so that is the line x equals 3. From top to the bottom you draw it right away the length of the axis given, so that's x equals 3. Okay, so any line y equals will be horizontal, any line x equals will be a vertical line. So the next one is y equals minus 4. So we're going to the y-axis and we're finding minus 4. Again, just like the previous y equals one. That's what we end up with. So that is the line y equals minus 4. And I'm just labeling these as I go along to help you as well. And it's always a good idea to label the line after you've drawn. The next one is x equals 1. So again, I'm going to the x-axis and finding where x is 1. And this again will be, because it's x equals, a vertical line. Okay. And there's the line x equals 1. Okay. Now, the next two, and it's just something to bear in mind, is y equals 0. So I'm going to the y-axis and finding where it's 0. 0 is at the origin. So the line y equals 0 actually runs along the x-axis. So just be aware of that. Y equals 0 is also the x-axis. So y equals 0 is the x-axis. And again, that's something that can confuse people at times, but just something to think about, sit down and remember. Y equals 0 is the equation for the x-axis. And given that, therefore the line x equals 0, so if I go to the x-axis and find 0 and draw a perpendicular line to that, the line x equals 0 is the y-axis. Okay, so it's just an added thing to keep in mind here, so that y equals 0, or sorry, x equals 0 is the y-axis. Okay. So just something to bear in mind, y equals 0 is the x-axis, x equals 0 is the y-axis, okay? Anything y equals 2 gives me a horizontal line. And anything x equals 2 gives me a vertical line. Now, this type of line, these types of drawing, these will come handy in later topics such as transformations, when we have to draw and plot things like mirror lines and stuff like that. So we will return to this, but if you learn how to draw these most basic of horizontal and vertical lines when given the equation, it'll be a big help later on as you do other topics as well. I'll put some questions to practice, and anything you're unsure about, just ask.